everyone. You know, Camden was a very special type of son. That anyone would be proud to have. He was brave, he was resilient, and he was a very passionate young man. He absolutely loved to be around his family. I'm sorry. You know, I recall a couple of weeks ago for SJSU Parent Weekend, his mom and I decided to come up, and he was so happy uh, that we were going to attend. We had scheduled all these events with the rest of the parents and staff and coaches and everything, and he was just like, "Dad, I don't want to go. I just want to hang out with you." With you and Mom. And we obliged. We said, "Okay, son." And so we get back to the hotel, and Ken, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to, he said, "I just want to relax and hang around you guys and watch a little football." This was Saturday after the game. And we just had just such a joyous, glorious time with him. Um, we were there just for him and just to embrace and hug and love him. And we spent every day, every second, every moment that we could after Friday night's game together. And we ended up going to a few different places. Just sitting down, eating, talking, laughing. Traveling through town, and it was just like I said, it was just a great time. And after our weekend had come to an end, it was time for his mom and I to, go back to Southern California. And Cam had study hall that day. He's required as a freshman to do an hour of study hall on Sunday. So we drove down the little road. I think it's maybe just west of here. That little tiny road over there, and we drove up, and I hadn't done it before, but something just compelled me to jump off the car, and I stopped it right in the middle of the road. The car was behind me. Excuse me. I went around it, gave him the biggest hug. And I could give him. And I said, "Son, you know what? I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you." And we'll be back in a few weeks for Thanksgiving to spend the week with you. And we moved on down moved on down the road, and that's the last time I saw him. But in person, of course, he spoke with his mom a lot, his mom and I a lot on via Skype or FaceTime. But he's going to be truly missed, and I mean, not just by me, especially by his mom and his two siblings. His oldest, Cleve McWright the fourth, and Kamari, his sister, who he was very, very close to. And yeah, simply put, he was just a treasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me. I don't know if I can get on my phone. No, I got it. Our son, Camden Malik McWright, was born unto us on December 19, 2003. To myself, Dina. To my husband, Cleve III. His big sister, Kamari, which he adored and fondly called her Bear. She was such a protector of him. And to his older brother, Cleve IV, whom he lovingly referred to simply as brother. On the day I gave birth to him, the nurse pulled him out and told his father and I, "You have a real football player here." And sure enough, his journey began at the age of 4.5 as a running back. At the time, he didn't know where he was running to. He absolutely hated to get dirty, and he didn't understand why everybody was chasing him. But Cam's mission in life has always been to just figure it out. Sure enough, he did, and through the years, God blessed him with winning all of the awards and accolades. He also excelled at track and basketball, maintaining a 4.0 or 4.0 year after year. It is simply facts that our son has touched every teacher, administrator, principal, and coach that had the experience of brushing across his path. And for the family members, parents, and friends, he became the light of all of our lives. Such a loving and kind, perfect child. Cam dug deep and fought even harder to find the skill of really learning how to balance school and sports at such a young age. Something that came from deep inside of him. Yet through it all, he continued to build his relationship with the Lord. If it is true and angels were able to walk on this earth, that would be our son. He touched so many lives in such a short time, and as you can see by his GoFundMe page, it was a blessing to have met him, if only for one time. I knew he was never really ours the day I first laid eyes on him. I thought I made a deal with God, that because he chose us to raise him, the one thing I asked was that he never take Cam away. I have now learned the hard way there are no making deals with God. He is in control of everything, and it is on his time, never ours. Cam has always remained humble and kind, but in the end, it is God who has the master plan. Our happiest moment was when Coach Brennan and Coach Carter called us into the room here at SJSU. He was able to sign the official papers to become a Spartan. His goals and dreams to eventually make it into the NFL were finally coming true. He found a real brotherhood in each and every one of his teammates, special to him in so many ways. He just wanted to be a part of his team. His father and I want the whole world to know that Cam's work ethic, willingness to learn, and forge through all adversity, no matter the pain it cost him, was exactly what he stood for. To anyone who knows and wants to speak with Cam now, every time you look up into the trees, think of him and he will find you there. Lately, that is where he found his most inner peace, meditating with the Lord. He wished for you all that you find your own place. And final, our most beloved angel is shining his light through me, and his wish to everyone is to practice this. Pick up your cross daily. Stand firm in your armor then, with a belt of truth unbuckled around your waist, and the breastplate of righteousness. Plant your feet in the level ground with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. Take up your shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all of the flaming arrows that come from your enemies. And so on the morning of October 21st at 6:51 a.m., God lifted up our precious son, Camden Malik McWright, into the heavens and looked into his beautiful eyes and said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Thank you."
What was it about this program that made Cam want to come here and enjoyed it so much?
I think it just felt like home. When we got here, on the official visit. It's just the way they treated us, and especially Cam. They just kind of rolled out the red carpet, and you know, it was just amazing. And again, it just felt like home.
It felt like that to him. We've talked often and every day, and he just felt embraced here, and that's what we were looking for him. He could have gone to larger colleges, and it wasn't that. He just wanted to feel, brotherhood with his teammates and just comfort, and this is what we chose for him, or he chose.
Obviously, he had a love for football. Any other hobbies, interests that he enjoyed?
Sure, he excelled in track, won all the accolades in track, and he loved playing basketball. His dad played basketball, so he loved playing. He was excelled in that as well. And he would always go back and teach the younger kids, football and go over things with them. But football was his passion.
Absolutely.
You said Southern California. Where did you grow up?
In Sylmar, California, which is northeast San Fernando Valley. Yeah.
What was his mom like? Was Coach kind?
And I want to be, pretty genuine when I say this. I mean, from what I heard from his mom, and I didn't kind of, it was borderline-ish, but at the same time, I, as a man, can understand that sometimes, tough love is necessary, especially when you're trying to get your point across. But in my opinion, Cam wasn't that type of kid. He was a student of the sport. He loved football. He loved sports, period. And it didn't take that for that type of a kid. And I don't. It's not anything negative that I feel toward Coach Alonso, because he's good at what he does. I've had a few talks with him, and he was saying, "Man, we give him everything he needs. I just want him to believe in his talent, And he said, "I love this kid, and he's got next level talent, in my opinion, So."
Can I ask, can you maybe talk to the support you're getting from the university, the church, your family, and if you're
Sure.
getting,
So he went to St. Genevieve for high school, and as far back as his elementary, we have elementary teachers texting us, chatting us on his GoFundMe page, just devastated by this loss. He's met so many people and touched so many hearts since he was a little boy, and it's just amazing to see all the support given from every teacher, every principal, St. Genevieve, all the coaches that, one main coach he had was Coach Billy Parra, which we appreciate him and his family. He's had several coaches throughout the years, and we just appreciate all that laid a hand on him and guided him in the right direction. And our son was just amazing, perfect child. And like I said, he's our angel, and he was an angel who walked here on earth with us, and we love him.
For sure.
We know what Cam was on the field. Can you speak to a little bit of what Cam was off the field, what his personality was like off the field?
He was just a very loving, like I said, passionate young man. And even in his quiet moments, you would look over at Cam, and he would just have this glow about him. And no matter what it was that he was doing, you just could see that. And there was a lot of times that he would not tell me things because, I was kind of one also that tried to practice that kind of tough love at times. But I don't know, just overall, just a great kid,
He had a lot of values. He had patience. He was kind to everyone who we came across. He was patient and loving and would never hurt anybody intentionally unless it had to do with football. But it's off the
Right.
football field. He's just like the best person you would want to know and this is from men in their 60s, all the 70s, all the way to young kids. He had a class at school now, or in his high school, during his senior year, where he would go and teach the second graders for one of his courses, and he loved doing that. he just had a heart of gold, and he still does. And he's just in heaven, and I don't have to worry about calling him and saying, "Did you make it? Give me a thumbs up. Are you okay?" Staying up all night, and I just know he's with the Lord, and running touchdowns in heaven. That was that earthquake today that we had here, and he'll just be in our hearts. We'll carry him with us wherever we go.
Yes.
So I saw he was interested in getting into sports media down the line. What do you think influenced them to possibly pursue that route?
Well, he was a student of not only football, but like I said, other sports, basketball, and even soccer lately here. He would talk about it, but he had so much info, man. I mean, there would be older guys come by, what number did Marcus Allen have? And he would come up with stats and his number and just, things like that. And he was just, he was a very knowledgeable young man, when it came to sports, period. Yeah.
You mentioned the GoFundMe. Has that been set up to help with funeral expenses?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, partially,
Any
yes.
sort of schedule?
We're coming up on a date, probably, we're looking at 11/19 at this point. But that's, it's not solid.
We'll figure that out too.
What has it been like seeing just the impact he had on this community in a relatively short period of time?
Absolutely amazing. And, I look at his GoFundMe and I don't even know probably 3/4 of the people that have given to Camden. He's touched so many lives, we wouldn't even have known this. And it's just wonderful to read the comments that are left for him. And if you didn't believe me that he's an excellent child, you can go through those comments yourself from people we don't even know, and they had the same thing to say about him. And we want to represent him to the world the best way we can and just stay strong for him, and we want everyone to know he was and is a blessing, and he has a lot of work that he wants to do as well. So it's never rest in peace. He's just up in heaven now, and he's safe, and he has a lot of work he wants to do.
We'll take one more question, you guys.
I'm going to ask, what was the first thought that came to both of your minds when you see the message regarding tragedy?
We refuse to answer that at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Better? Okay. First of all, I just want to thank everybody that's reached out. Their love and support has been incredible. People across the country have reached out to our program and to me to just offer support and their love for this incredible young man. I want to thank President Perez, our interim president here. He was with us all day Friday. He met with the family when they arrived on Sunday or Monday. He was at the vigil. He was just here supporting us all, being around our players, being around our staff. It was really impressive to me. Jeff Konya and Scott McDonald, along with all the other coaches and the administrators here at San Jose, have been outstanding. Patrick Day, just showing up again, offering their support, being around the students, just being there in a really tough time. The vigil was an amazing show of just love and kindness and consideration for Camden. There were all kinds of students there, every sports team that was here in town was represented. It was an incredibly special moment. And that I also have to thank Chief Carroll and University Police Department and also San Jose Police Department that assisted us with kind of us being there on the street and being there to support what we were going through. To me, all those things are incredible examples of leadership. It's an incredible example of like what families are, what our family is. For our president and our AD and our administration and the leadership of campus and the local police and all these people to rally around in this moment, to rally around our team and the players here and everybody that's hurting so much. It was, in my opinion, very, very special. Camden was an incredible young man. He had a light and a spirit that he shared with everybody every day. That's who he was. That's how he carried himself. His family loved him. His teachers, coaches, teammates, friends, everybody loved him. I mean, they genuinely felt that way about him. He was really, really unique and special in that way. I loved that kid. We all did. And we're going to make sure that we honor him this weekend, but really every day going forward for us as a program and for all that knew him. He was just incredibly special. And so we are just trying to navigate a really hard time and something that you don't ever wish to experience. And so my heart goes out to Cam's family, to our team, to this community, all the people that knew and loved him, because he was a really, really special young man.
All right, questions for Coach?
Coach, how have you and the staff been supporting the athletes and overall the team as a whole to get through this tough time?
We are really fortunate. I think it starts with everybody kind of leaning on each other. The players, the coaches, the support staff, everybody that's involved in our program here. We also had the help of CAPS on campus. They came down and spent the day with us, and they've been in constant contact with us about the resources that are available through campus. And then also through Dr. Joe, who is our, works with us in our kind of clinical stuff, mental health stuff, and then also our sports psych. And Dr. Joe's part of our program, and he's here all the time. And so he's incredibly valuable to our players and our program. And so he's been with us. He was with us on Thursday and Saturday, and it was, and that was also really important. We brought our team back together on Saturday morning, just to have breakfast and just to be around each other a little bit. Friday was an impossible day, and so Saturday was a chance for us to just be together and continue to try and process what we're all feeling. And it was great. We had breakfast together and we hung out, and there was football on TV, and we were just kind of spent probably 2 or 3 hours together. And then on Sunday, then actually after that, each position group met with they got together and they had some food or went over to the coach's house, whatever that was. I stopped in. I went and had lunch with the running backs and just spent some time with that group and Coach Carter. And then I went by Coach Oglesby's place and spent time with the offensive line. But all the coaches were doing some version of that somewhere in the Bay. That was Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday, we brought our team back, and we thought we needed to get them back into a little bit of normal stuff. And so we got them out on the field, and we went through a really light practice, 20 minutes, half hour, just kind of running around and just, again, being together and doing what they love to do together, trying to help them, start to heal and just be able to lean on each other because they're together. And so that's what we did on Sunday.
How do you balance trying to move on from this and grieving and giving the space that's needed, but also preparing for Saturday? What has that been like?
I don't know. I think I know we're doing the best we can, and this team is a real family, and I think the best thing for them to do, considering that we've lost a family member, is for them to be together and lean on each other, and that's what we've been trying to do. And with still talking about the support that is available to them through CAPS or Dr. Joe if there's anything like that they need. But, trying to help them understand that both things are happening at the same time, and both things require us to be invested, right? And so we're trying to do that.
Brent, could you kind of share a little bit of his recruitment story with us? And I know he was offered by some Pac-12 schools late, and he stayed loyal to you guys right before signing day. What does that kind of say about him?
Yeah, it's funny because E. Scott brought the tape to Zoe, and it was his recruiting area, and like Zoe watched 3 plays, and next thing I know, they're passing it on through our normal kind of process to Coach McGivern, and then it got to me, and I didn't have to watch it very long either. He was incredible at running back, and he was incredible at linebacker, so like everybody in the room wanted him to play for them. The defense wanted him, the offense wanted him, and then we went down and met with him, and we met at the high school in the conference room there, and he was just amazing. Like he just had this, like I mean it, like he had this incredible light, like this incredible spirit that you felt the moment you met him. It was instant. And right away I was like, this guy will fit with us. This guy will be a great part of our family. And so we had a great conversation. He's a big Batman fan, right? And I'm kind of a superhero guy. So when he committed, it wasn't out yet, but I threw like a Batman signal up on my Twitter, And so that was like our ongoing joke. And so we spent the next 2 months sending each other Batman gifts. It was just kind of a fun inside joke for us. But, when he came on his visit, you just met his parents. Just all those things were so healthy. And the kid was a 4.3 student, right? Like he was like everything you're looking for in a recruit. He was had great speed. You saw him at running back. He could, he had really good vision, like all these things. And that's why he was kind of starting to get in the mix for us, right? It just takes a little bit of time for freshmen to grow and learn and develop, and he was doing that.
Brent, is there any concern, like during the game? I know there's the emotional depth of what happened and then the physical competitiveness of Saturday night. Just keep an eye on the kids. They might look okay or not, but is there like a concerted effort to just keep an eye that their well-being physically and mentally is?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's a part of that, right? Our training staff, our team doctors, Dr. Joe, our coaches, and each other, right? We're constantly checking in with each other that way. It's like, hey, how are you? Are you all right? How you doing? Because everybody grieves differently. Everybody is feeling this on different levels. And so trying to work through that together, just with everybody having a collective awareness for it.
And is there going to be like any helmet decals, anything to honor him that players are doing, like a wristband, anything along the lines of that?
Yeah, there's going to be multiple things like that. It's really cool. Our university has helped us with some like signage, and there's some signage on campus, and They've printed a bunch of buttons, and then, you know, for our team, we're gonna have sticker, and we're gonna do some more stuff for the game that we think is our best effort to honor him.
Coach, Cam on the field, you know, we heard that he's a competitive guy. He works hard. Can you speak to a little bit of what he was off the field?
Well, you know, I feel like I did a little bit, but it's just, I think if you were at the vigil and listened to people speak, or if you've talked to anybody that knew him, he just had this amazing way with people. He's just a big smile, right? Just really like kind of a warm and engaging person. He was fun to be around, and you saw that with how the freshmen have responded. You know, those guys that came here in Summer Bridge with him and how close they all were with him, and even the older guys as he's been with our team a little bit longer now, just how emotional Friday was, and how much pain everybody was in. And so, you know, I'll tell you a quick story. I got an email on Friday from a professor, and the professor had, Cam had just dropped by her drop-in tutorial and in the major he was going to go into, and she was blown away by him, and she sent this incredible email about this young man who just had so much going for him and was so excited about his academic pursuits and not just his athletic. And you know, she knew him for a half hour. Like that, to me, that's a great indication of who he was. You know, that's a really, I've been coaching a long time. I've never had that happen before.
Coach, I've covered all year traffic-related deaths in the city of San Jose, and every time there's a family or someone who's grieving, obviously. Now that this most recent one hits so close to home, what are your thoughts on this kind of growing issue in the city?
That's a pretty global question. I'm really more just worried about our team, not getting on scooters and making good choices about, you know, our transportation. But, you know, that's a tough question for me to answer, to be honest with you. Like, it's not a good thing, right? Like, it's awful.
So are you like banning scooters among your team right now?
Yeah, that's what we put out there with them, is just to stay away from those, you know, and it's just, yeah. I don't have anything else to say to that.
Any more questions for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, Mark?
What do you consider Camden's legacy to be with the team?
Well, I think his legacy in his short time here was the incredible kindness and just enthusiasm that his personality, his spirit was. I think you combine that with a really, really hard-working kid, and I think that part of it, that's what, when our team talks about him, they talk about how hard he worked and how much he loved being here and how much he was enjoying his process here. You know, and so I think his legacy is really that hard work and that enthusiastic spirit that everybody that ever knew him loved so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.